felt that it was important that you shared what we had found out, especially in the times of changes that we're living at the moment and the shift of consciousness that we're experiencing. Verónica Paz Wells comes from Peru, lives in Canada at the moment. And she comes to us to stretch our mind, stretch our mind and give us more information about beings who share our universe. And well, there's not much more that I can say at this point except enjoy the presentation because Verónica will take over and literally stretch your mind.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm very brand new here in Canada. My first language is not English, so please forgive me a little bit if I'm not able to express myself as the way I would love to. For sure, my work is very brand new here in Canada. There's not too many people already into this kind of work yet. I'm going to try to run a little bit and introduce myself to you. And this is going to give you a very good idea who I am and what kind of work I'm doing at this point. The lecture is going to be in 3 parts. The first part is going to be an overview about our planet, our situation. The second part is going to be related with the UFO phenomena all over the world. And also, in the end, about my work in particularly. And after that, we're going to talk a little bit more further on in regards to what I'm doing and the purpose of my work, and also an invitation for all of you. Okay? So please follow a little bit here. That's going to be the best way to know me a little bit better. What you're seeing right now is newspapers. These 2 from Spain, this is from Peru, this is from Toronto. These 2 newspapers, they're from Spain. I'm part of a group of people who we are the only one in the world who brought the press, the international press, to UFO encounters. Not only once, many times. And when I'm talking about the press, we're talking about journalists, TV channels, and many other things. What you're seeing right now is 2 newspapers in 1974. Are you aware of this? For sure not. As you can see here, this is We Are Not Alone. I saw 2 UFOs. This is the whole story from the journalists who came with us to an UFO sighting. Here, this is in Peru, 1988. We brought 40 journalists from different countries. The Miami Herald newspaper, channel 51 and 25 from Miami, came also to this specific sighting. Here you have the picture taken from the journalists from this newspaper in Peru, seeing already the object in the sky. We brought TV channels from Chile, from different countries, and we proved that not only the UFO phenomenon is real, but we are an intelligent relationship with extraterrestrial beings. Next, please. this is at least is going to give you a very good idea about myself. I have a very huge background, as you can see, in regards to UFO phenomena. I'm one of the people already being researched in regards to special abilities. And the most interesting thing here is that this kind of abilities came after the UFO experience, not before. Now, we're going to do an overview about who we are, what we are doing here, the situation of our planet, because we're living very special times at this point. Not only because a lot of things are happening around in a spiritual way, but we are in a very special moment of decision. How it's going to be the future, what's going to happen next, depends from our decisions now. And be absolutely sure that every of us, we can have part in this near future for sure. Okay? Okay. Next one. This is obvious. Thousands, millions of stars we have already around. We're only one single star, and the smallest one. Next. Our solar system, our galaxy, 100,000 light years diameter. We are already in the external area. 5 arms. We belong to the Orion arm, and we're already closely to the end of our galaxy. Next. Our solar system, now we're fighting how many planets in fact we have. Pluto, as everybody knows, is already an enigma. It is a planet, there's not anymore, who knows? Next. Slow now. Next. It's unbelievable how far we can go. And this is just because beliefs, nothing more. So our beliefs are so deep that life or others people's life, we don't care. Next one. This is Guantanamo, Cuba. Next. Good question. It is. This is Australia. Yep. Interesting question, right? They're manifesting themselves all over the world. Do you know this?
Atlantis.
Sorry?
Atlantis.
Next one now. Next. This is the underwater pyramids in Japan, Yonaguni. They found these pyramids almost 10 years ago. Not too many people know about this. 40 meters under the water. Totally well carved in the stone. Who did it? It's 40 meters under the sea. If you remember, the last ice age was 150,000 years ago. And that's exactly when they melt. It started to come and rise into the ocean waters. So a lot of stuff at the time out of the water became under the water. So if we consider the possibility that the builders, when they did this, they were out of the water, this can be at least 20 to 40,000 years old. So who did that? Atlantis? The whole continent already lost? An interesting proof, an interesting evidence, and not too many people know about this place. What you're seeing already here is an iron hammer inside of a limestone fossil. You have shells, fossil shells. How old? This is around a few million years old. Who did an iron hammer millions years ago when men supposed to exist anthropologically as an intelligent being around 80,000 years ago? Next one. Screws inside of the rock. Fossil screws. Few million years old. Who did it? Next. Spheres found in South Africa. Perfect spheres. Thousands of years old. Who did it? Next. sad truth, right? That's a very important thing here. Next one. Go. Go. That's Sao Paulo. That's okay. Go. Go on. Red one. All the scientists are saying this year, everything, storms, typhoons, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, they'll multiply per 10 this year. This is the year we're having and we're facing already the most incredible temperatures all over the world. That's exactly what is happening right now, all over. Why? Because what we are doing here. In what way we're helping to change our environment, the climate. This is exactly what we're going to expect in the next few years. This is already past, but this is going to increase a lot. We are going to, in some way, face important changes in our world. But how this is going to touch us? The food chain. This is how it's going to touch us. At the moment, the climate is going to be out of control. The food production is going to be in danger. So, not having too much food, prices are going to rise. The situation is going to become a little bit complicated. Social problems, situation, production, people will lose jobs, and the chain reaction is going to start. So we're facing right now. As we can see, how's the stock market right now? How's the dollar is already almost matching with the Canadian dollar? How's already the situation all over the world? Financially? Well, all this was predicted a long time ago. So what we are seeing, somebody gave us already the news a long time ago, but we didn't do absolutely nothing. And scenes like this, they're going to become more often in our televisions, part of our shows in television. They're going to be more often coming to the news. Next one. If you remember, there was a very interesting movie showing a very inconvenient truth from Al Gore. Wonderful work. Excellent. This is only a small review of his ideas. In the last 650,000 years, the CO2 on our planet was never gone above 300 parts per million. The CO2 is controlling in what way the solar rays coming to our planet and coming out. This is the greenhouse effect, right? What we have today is that the solar energy is not coming out to the space. We're keeping already this energy in our atmosphere. That's the reason why the temperatures are rising. Next now. So this is exactly our production today. Next. At this rate, we reached 600 parts per million of CO2 in 2005. We are 2007. Next. Following this path, in the next 50 years, we will reach the rate of 1,000 parts per million of CO2. So what it means, everything is going to change. And it's changing very fast. More faster than what the scientists already expected. Next. Next, ma'am. Check out this. A bunch of tourists coming to a glacier. Argentina. Having fun, watching the ice, blah, blah, blah. But the climate is changing. The temperatures are changing. So what they're going to face? Something unexpected. Holy, right? Check it out now. Pay attention to the next one. Do you know what it is? This is it? Exactly. But it's a blue ice iceberg. What that means? A blue ice iceberg. Blue ice is an iceberg formed by millions of years of process. So this iceberg probably saw the dinosaurs or the different ice ages. But in a few seconds, it's going to become nothing. Why? Because of global warming. So something took millions of years to be formed because the temperatures is falling apart. Amazing. And coming already this kind of water to the ocean is going to change dramatically the density of our oceans. So this means the currents in our oceans are going to change too. Change the currents, changing the temperature, changing the winds, changing the whole cycle. So for the next years, having already all the ice melting, coming to the oceans, so we're going to have dramatic changes in our world. Next. 103,000 kilometers, square kilometers. Next. Again, all this is going to have consequences as a chain reaction where the food change. The polar bears are suffering right now, and changing the climates, changing already the temperatures. Diseases never seen in some part of the world, they're going to start to appear. Why? Because the insects responsible for that, they're going to be able to show up. Next. Check it out this. This is from the Al Gore film. Kilimanjaro, Africa. As you can see, no snow. Another one. No more snow. 1932, 88, no more snow. No more snow. No more snow. A lot of people will have a lot of hard problems to find already a place to ski. No snow, no ice. Argentina, 1928, the same place in a few seconds. 2004. Huge difference, eh? This is our world. And the situation is not going to end. It's going to continue. Next one. This is the desert, full of snow. Next one. Tucson, Arizona, January 2007. Full of snow. Everything is changing. Next. And this is exactly the consequences of everything what we're doing. Poor countries are going to suffer. They are suffering right now. They're going to suffer more. So all the migrations coming from different countries having a lot of problems are going to invade other countries. Not being qualified people, they're going to fight for survival. Fighting for survival with no qualifications and no possibilities, this is going to create urban violence, poverty, misery, violence for sure. And this is what is happening in Sao Paulo. The traffic took control of the city. Rio de Janeiro, the same thing. If you go already to a travel agency to go to Brazil and you're going to visit Rio de Janeiro, they're going to alert you, oh, be careful with this, be careful with that, because somebody can steal everything what you have. And this is exactly what is happening right now, and it's going to come here too. Next. Next one. And our situation also is not going to change at all. Next. So this is interesting, right? 1900s, we were 1.6 million inhabitants on this planet. 105 years after, we are 6.5 billion. Interesting. What huge change, eh? And we are still increasing. Probably not in the same speed, but we're still increasing. And having already all these problems, climate problems, how it's going to be for survival. Next. 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 Next one. Next. Check it out this. This is China. A lot of sand over here. China used to have one sandstorm every 10 years. One sandstorm every 10 years. This is the consequences. This is a sandstorm in the city. But now they got 10 sandstorms in one single year. Why? Obvious, right? Next. A little bit creepy, but interesting to reflect. Pay attention with the next slides. This is an extraterrestrial picture taken in Italy 20 years ago. The background is not related with the picture, but the image of the entity, yes. Pay attention with the text. Roma. Go. 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 Leave it there. This is from Revelations. When John had the chance to see an angel, how he described the angel looks very familiar with the picture we're having already here. How they look like the entities were in touch. Exactly like Joseph Smith described in his book, the Mormon's book. Tall beings, white hair, and incredible good looking. Well, a lot of people can have fun with that, but It's very interesting. Next. Go. Stop. Okay. This is interesting because for sure there's not too many people knowing about history. A long time ago, some hundreds of years ago, when the Babylons decided to take control of Palestine, at that time divided in two different places, Samaria, with mostly of the tribes of Israel, and Jerusalem with only 3 of the tribes over there. They took control of Samaria and they killed everyone. They came back to Jerusalem and they had a hard time to be able to take Jerusalem. The main tribe already there, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the 3 tribes already survival. Judah was the tribe in control. Following already the story, mostly of the Jewish people today belongs to the Judah tribe. And who's going to open the book of the seals? The Lion of Judah. As we can see right now all over the world, the eastern countries are having problems with Western countries, right? So the Middle East already is looking in a terrible way to try to destroy Israel. And all this is creating all this tension also. So this means this is exactly what was already been saying to us for all the years. So this is exactly what is happening right now. Next. The 4 nights of the apocalypse or the revelations, right? The war. Next. The communism, the Islamism, all the movements in some way who is taking already our pleasure to live sometimes, because somebody can blow up a bus, a building, an airplane, who knows, right? Go now. Go. Money, power, financial power. Yep, for sure. Next one. Diseases. Unfortunately, we have a lot today, and we're going to have more. Next. This is interesting. So angels will be sent to our planet to alert and make choices. Jesus said also in the Gospels that...
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Just 1 second. There is a Ford 318
Yes.
JAF.
Yes.
It's parked in a residence parking
Is
spot.
it?
Yeah.
I thought I saw it. It
Move
said.
it.
Oh.
Thank you.
No problem. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So
Sorry interrupting you.
in the Gospels, we have Jesus saying to the apostles, angels will become before me. So angels, the same description already John gave it to everybody. Incredible beings, white hair, special characteristics. So these angels are in fact entities. If you go to the story of the Jewish people, you're going to have something very interesting. When the Babylons decided to make free the Jewish and send it back to Jerusalem, at that time they forgot almost everything, even the Hebrew. They didn't have it anymore. So when they started to rebuild the whole nation, they came back to Jerusalem, they started to rebuild everything. They got to rebuild the language also. So they create the synedrios, they create already the priests, they create the scribes, they created everything, again and back. So they decided to rebuild the whole language. So the Hebrew was rebuilt in many ways. And they create the Ketib Kere. Ketib Kere means what is going to be written and what is going to be written. So this means you have 3 levels in what way you're going to be able to read special words. If you go to the library and look for a dictionary, Masoretic Jewish, or in this case English, Masoretic to English, you're going to have interesting words. Cherubim. What means cherubim for all of you? An angel, right? It's an angel. Wrong. In the Ketib Kere, cherubim means object coming from the sky. It's in the book. This is not ufology. You can find in a simple dictionary. Everybody remember the seraphims, right? Also, when we have in the Bible the Ezekiel experience having the seraphims showing to himself. What means seraphims? Another angel hierarchy, right? Wrong. 6 objects in the sky. This is translation. This is not a speculation. You can go to the library, find the book, and you will be able to read it. So what is it supposed to mean? What they saw. For our times, they became angels. For what they saw, they were not angels. They were something else. Next. This picture, go back please, ma'am. Take it away the text a little bit. Okay. This picture is not a fake. It's a real picture. From where? Kuwait. When? We have the wheels, the oil wheels already in fire. Let's go to the text.
Excuse me, where was it? I didn't hear.
Kuwait. The word, Kuwait. 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 When we have the invasion and the Desert Storm operation from the United States to try to rescue Kuwait. So this is already in Revelations too. Where the oil is coming from? The bottom of the earth, right? It's a wheel. So it's interesting that this text describes perfectly this picture. The interesting thing is that this picture was 17 years ago. Yeah. And this text is almost 2,000 years old. Interesting, eh? Next one. This is also a picture from the same area. We have already here the choppers running over the area, and the text. How a 2,000 years ago man will describe on a helicopter? How? How we will be able to describe this kind of machine? For sure it's an animal, right? It's going to be hard for him to understand this as a machine. Scorpions, taking the power to hurt Earth. How it will be? Was possible that Jonathan or John seeing the future, or somebody was showing for him the future? Possible. Next. Interesting, right? We have been using the word Satan, right, to be a synonym of evil, bad, the darkness, the princess of darkness, things like that. Next one now. But pay attention here. The correct translation from the Hebrew means the deceiver. And also the accuser. So what is exactly Osama bin Laden is trying to blame United States. He's accusing United States to do what? A lot of stuff. So he's playing this kind of role already in our world, in our future. Next. Interesting, this is almost the chapter 21 from Revelations. Next. And this is a very interesting thing because mostly the Catholic religion and also the Jewish religion considers that in some specific time God is going to come. What is going to happen with heaven, with hell and everything? Because nobody is going to go to heaven anymore. Instead, God is going to come to earth. And this is going to happen in a very special moment. So, a special God kingdom will be arrive to our planet and make any changes, all the changes. What kind of relationship we're talking about here? A relationship, in fact, with angels, entities, objects, extraterrestrial beings. Next one. Everybody remember this movie, I think. It's a classic. Right? Gord and Klaatu. Next. Good question. Next. Next one. Go now. This is a very important thing. Why the world is the way it is right now. If we have already a bus running in Jerusalem and somebody blew up that bus with a lot of innocent people, we're going to say, my God, this is horrible. A lot of people died. For sure it is. But for the guy who already put the bomb inside, for his party, he went to heaven because he did something towards his beliefs. And vice versa. When somebody kills in a war, he's a hero. When somebody kills in the middle of the city, he's an assassin. Right? What kind of situations we have right now to judge what is correct and what is not? Under what kind of circumstances? We live in a very horrible world at this point because what is happening already all over. You don't need to be a terrorist to put a bomb in a building to harm people. You can do it in many ways. Because what you believe, what you're carrying inside of yourself cannot be the best necessarily. And what you think you're doing for the best can harm a lot of people without knowing. And this is the main problem we're having right now. A lot of people, they think because they have a beautiful speech, saying beautiful words, they're already part of the good guys. Not necessarily. And this is exactly the whole situation we're facing today. That's the reason why our planet is in this mess. Because nobody wants to take the blame. Nobody wants to take responsibility at all. Everybody's trying to do the best moment in our lives, in our planet, about spirituality. A lot of religions, a lot of movements, a lot of philosophies, a lot of preachers, a lot of gurus, whatever, name it. You have a lot. But what they are giving to you right now is the one flight ticket to heaven, to the next life, to the next possibility, to enhance already your abilities, to rise you to the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, to go to the matrix, to go where? Many possibilities. We are the very interesting race. We don't worship life. We worship the possibility to run away from life. Simple? My God, I'm suffering a lot. Yes, my son. You need to suffer a lot. This is the way you want to purify yourself to be able to go to heaven in one straight line trip. So when you will die, you're going to have the reward over there. So suffer a lot because this is the way God loves you. You're going to purify yourself. If you're suffering a lot under whatever other beliefs, it's your karma. So you need to suffer a lot because you're purifying yourself. The next life is going to be the best one. So as you can see, we don't care about life. We're expecting to die. So we live to die. We don't live to live. We live to die. So we don't have any expectations to happiness, to reach friendship, to have fun. Because if we're having fun, it's because love doesn't like us, or he doesn't love us at all, because we're not suffering, so we're not purifying ourselves, right? So we need to suffer a lot. This is the best way to have pleasure in the future, but not here, in the afterlife. This is exactly the main problem. We're killing each other looking for the afterlife, not for this one. That's the reason why we have these planes crashing the Twin Towers. That's the reason why we're exploding already these buses. That's the reason why we're killing each other, because we don't care about life. We don't give a damn for life. So die is a relief. This is the way we're going to run away. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. That's the reason why we're making mistakes, and we're still making mistakes, because we're not going to be here when the mistakes will show up. We're leaving already all the mistakes and the problems, the future problems, to the next generation, and that's going to be their problem. A lot of people are doing that. And this is our mentality right now. This is how the world is working. When we're talking about improving ourselves, when we're talking about the possibility to enhance ourselves, we're going to reach high levels of consciousness. We're going to improve our vibration. So what means improve ourselves? What means when we're talking about enhance ourselves? What means when we're talking about have a better view of what is happening around us? What means that? Under what kind of beliefs? Because for a Muslim, it's going to be very interesting when we're talking about improving. For a Catholic, for a Jewish, for a Mormon, for name it whatever kind of philosophy. When we're talking about improving high level of consciousness, we're talking something different. This is the problem. When a bunch of people, even speaking English sometimes, we're not talking the same language. We're not following exactly the same path. We're not looking already for conversion. Instead, we're looking for diversion. We're already splitting already here. And this way, it's competition. So our future is already showing. We need to change that. Next. 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 That's okay. Go. Next. Next. Go. This is a very important point here. How deep is our feeling in regards to better possibilities? In what way? In what way we know we need to change or improve? In what way we're absolutely sure if we need to improve or change? Because normally, people become collectors of knowledge. It's exactly like go to the bookstore, buy a book, and put it already in your house. You have something new already in your house. You're going to over there do a special course. You're going to have more information. You have already the whole material. That's it. So you're putting already in your drawer or whatever. You have more information. That's exactly what you have, more information. Are you improving yourself? You're having something else to share and to develop a conversation with somebody else. But in fact, are you using that? Or did you understand, in fact, that? Hardly. Hardly. So the main problem already here, mostly, is there are people already collecting information but not changing. Next one. Next, okay. Surpass barriers. What kind of barriers? Fears, limitations. Culture, religion, education, fears, traumas, name it. There's a lot of barriers we're carrying, and we don't know. We don't have a clue about what in fact we're carrying inside of ourselves. And we think that doing already an astral trip, projecting our minds, doing some things, everything is going to change. Like this way. It's like a magic trick and everything is going to become different. That's the reason why we're still living. That's the reason why we're facing one day after the other. That's the reason why we're still already moving ourselves. Why? Because each of us, we're carrying inside of ourselves hope. Hope that the next day is going to be different. Hope that in one specific moment, something is going to happen and make everything be different. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're hoping that one specific day, turning that corner, we're going to face something new. Something absolutely special. And this is the motivation we're having right now towards life. Do we trust each other? Hardly. Do we expecting already be happy with a partner, a relationship, a marriage? Hardly. Do we trust each other? We have a very nice friendship? Hardly. So, whom we're trusting? Or towards whom we're putting all our hope? Two different sources. Transcendental sources, mystical sources, spiritual sources, extraterrestrial sources, for sure. Because they're not humans. And this is mostly what we are trying to point our hope. And we forgot that the main source, the main point where everything needs to be changed first is here. We forgot to look inside and check exactly what is necessary. To have the chance, finally, live in peace and dignity with all. This is what it's about it. Understand who in fact we are. What we are doing here. What the future can bring us. We're living already a very incredible moment where everything can be absolutely different. More different than you can imagine. I'm going to give you a small break now. We're going to go to the second part. The second part is going to be the most beautiful collection of UFO sightings all over the world. And also footages about that. Also, you're going to be able to see some of the footages we took here in Toronto in our sightings with pre-according times and places. And after that, we're going to talk a little bit more about our work. Thank you so much for your patience. What we're going to see now is going to be a very nice collection of the most interesting UFO pictures all over the world. Some of the pictures you can find in the internet. Some, unfortunately, the quality is not the best in the internet. What is already over the world in regards to UFO phenomena, you have thousands of pictures about UFOs. Here you're going to have the best ones, the best quality ones, and also the best footages. My objective already here with this presentation at this point here is exactly to show you how much the world is already aware of the UFO phenomenon, what is already happening outside. So this is a very interesting collection all over the world. We're going to see pictures, we're going to see videos, we're going to see pictures from NASA and videos from NASA. So to be aware that not only normal people, regular people are able to film UFOs. I had the chance to meet in person John Glenn, Collins, Aldrin, and this last two ones from the Apollo 11. They came to Peru a long time ago in '69, after the mission, doing all over the world trip, showing about NASA, United States, and everything like that. And I had the possibility to meet these people in person. And not only they told, how can I say this, under the table, that for sure they saw UFOs and extraterrestrial beings in their missions. So let's go. 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 This is for you, all of you, be aware that the UFO phenomena is very well known. In 1978, the United Nations has 3 meetings in November, to discuss about the UFO phenomenon. So how the United Nations will have a meeting to discuss an issue if this issue is not real. So 3 meetings in November 1978 about the UFO phenomenon. The conclusion, United States decided to each country need to do their own research. So instead, the United Nations create one specific agency combining all the nation efforts to research about the UFO phenomena. Officially, United States say, no, we don't want it and we don't agree. And each country try to do their best by their own. And that's exactly what they resolved. And that's exactly what is happening today. When the UFO phenomena comes out of the closet during the Second War. Why? Because during the Second War, we developed technology to be able to fly and drop bombs over some people's head, right? So this is exactly when the radar became to appear in our technological scenario. So what you have already here, this is the famous Foo Fighters during the Second War. Next one. The radars, they were able to identify strange objects in the sky. The United States, they created different projects to be able to analyze the phenomena. The Canadians, the Germans, and different countries, they developed different kind of projects about that. The United States called these objects Foo Fighters, the Germans Kraftboliden, and everybody tried to figure out who was responsible for this kind of technology. Next. Next. After that, after the Second War, the objects started to appear more often, and not only this strange balls, but crafts like this. This is a George Adamski picture in the 50s, 1950s. Different objects were being seen all over the world. This in the States, also in the 50s, the States. This is Albuquerque, New Mexico. Same Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is closer to the White Sands military base. This is Japan. States, New Mexico. This is also Japan. US, Australia, Polony. This is Miami, US. Sorry, Gold Breeze. This is Switzerland. This is Japan. Next one. US. This is Canada.
Where?
Vancouver. This is Polony. US. Peru, South America. Polony. Okay. So we saw an interesting collection about UFOs sightings all over the world. Now we're going to see NASA pictures. Let's go. This is from the Gemini project in the 60s. You have here the hatch open, the astronaut out, and taking a picture of one strange object following the capsule. Next. Two objects flying in the stratosphere when you have the night and the day in our planet. Next. That's taken from the astronaut White, also from the Gemini project. Here you have the Himalayas, an object already taken picture over there. This is from the Apollo 11. You have already a strange light form here. What you're having already here is the object moving during the frame of the picture. So this means this picture is moving in 1/14 per second. So the speed of this object is extremely fast. Next, this is the moon, Apollo 11 too. Apollo 12. Apollo 12. This is also from the Apollo project. Next one. Okay. Now we're going to go for videos from NASA. Next. This is the same case. You have already the Gemini being followed for an strange object. This is going to become very common from NASA. Next. Next now. James McDivitt film already here this object following the capsule. You're going to see him already watching from the window. Watching the object. This is also from the Gemini project. Next. This is from the Apollo project. An strange object. This is captured from the Apollo 11. Next. An object coming out. This is from Apollo 11. What is that? A Foo Fighter. We call these objects canopies. Next. Apollo. You have an object already here. Pay attention. This object is coming from the bottom to space. So, how can be? Click the image again now. Go back. Just go back. Really? No. Here now. No, wait a minute. Pay attention again.
That's the moon.
This is the moon, yep. This is the capsule over the moon. Next. Take it away, the cursor now. Take it away, the cursor over there. This is the Mir station. Click again now, over the image. This is the Mir station, taken from the space shuttle. You have an object already moving over there. Next. Mir station, taken from the space shuttle, putting everything in focus. And again, they're going to be able to see another object flying calm in space. Next. Again, the Mir station. Pay attention with this object because we're going to see this object in Germany. It's a cylinder. Next. Pay attention here. Check it out the angle. Two objects. Pay attention the angle. 90-degree angle. How can be possible an object do this kind of movement? What kind of technology is that? We don't have the possibility to do here. And we have already two objects already in the sky. In the space, in this case, one of these objects doing that. Next. Here, this is an infrared footage from the Endeavour. We can see meteorites coming to our planet. We're going to see a lot of stuff moving here, but we're going to see this object wobbling. This object is not a meteorite. Why? Because this object knows that the people here are filming him. So this object is going to come, move, it's going to come back, it's going to go again, and it's going to return once more. What kind of object can do that? Unless somebody is already driving this object. Check it out. Next. Check it out, this object. This is our planet, an infrared footage, different satellites. And we have already here an object. Pay attention here. It's going to have a flash here. And the object is creating an angle and going to space in a very huge speed. Again.
That flash was from a laser weapon.
It's a wave. It's an electromagnetic wave already when the object is changing position and speed. So it seems already there's some electromagnetic field already being irradiated and impacting the footage. That's the reason why.
Okay, this electromagnetic field, is it coming from the object?
The object. Because it's exactly at the moment the object is changing direction. It's exactly the same moment. Next now.
So what causes the flash?
The object is changing the electromagnetic field to be able to be out of our gravitational field, because he is still already in our space. He is still already in orbit. At the moment he is coming out, he is braking already. His position in our planet. So he is coming out of orbit. To be able to do that, you need to have impulse, right? So he's creating already this impulse, changing the polarity of the electromagnetic field.
So is the quanta increasing or decreasing?
In this case, what he's changing is polarity, not exactly the quantum. When you're going to talk about the quantum, you're changing the amount of energy you're going to use when we're talking about the quantum, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the moment you're going to start to change the amount of energy you're going to use, yes. So, but in this case, it seems what he's changing right now is polarity, because at the moment he is still already in our orbit. He's working like a regular satellite, right? There's no rockets, no nothing. He's moving like using our electromagnetic field, so our gravitational field. But at the moment he is going to change his position, seems already he is using electromagnetic, or in this case, polarity, to be expelled out of our atmosphere.
So is he ejecting energy or taking in energy?
He's not taking, or he's changing only the polarity.
And that produces a flash?
Yes, because he's creating a wave of energy around. It's actually like a magnet. At the moment you're changing the polarity of the magnet, you're going to expel it.
So you actually expel energy?
You're expelling energy. But this energy is because the polarity, you're expelling electrons, right? So you're not changing the quantum of energy existing. You are just expelling electrons already over there. Because that's exactly what is going to expel one magnet to the other one. So that's exactly what is happening already here. So the electrons creating, in fact, an electricity wave. So it's an electromagnetic wave. This is what you're having right now here. Okay? When you're talking about the quantum, you're changing the space-time continuum and the volume of energy all over.
But quanta is also changing the atomic energy levels. No?
We're going to see in the end an interesting experiment exactly destroying the gravitational field. We're going to see in the end that all this technology we're seeing right now here is not something we cannot reach. Instead, we are reaching today. So I'm going to show you in the end some experiments already doing all over the world, showing that now we're able to destroy gravity. So we can already put in the air objects with no gravity attraction at all. We're able to do that. And how? Exactly, creating a mattress or an electron shield protecting the object. And this electron shield is already destroying the attraction of the planet, making the object come to the sky. We will see that. So, let's go. Another object? This object is coming from space. You have a thunderstorm already here in our planet. It's on an infrared footage. It's coming inside of the clouds. So that's the reason why it's changing. Next. 3 objects flying together in space. Next. Another space shuttle, but pay attention with this one. Check it out here. What is that? What is that object? Nobody knows. Next one. This is when the Endeavour went to space to try to repair the Hubble. The astronauts, they were working here, but somebody was watching them. And that's not a satellite or something like that. Next. Pay attention here. This object is doing a beautiful curve in space. Who's doing that? So this is not a satellite, this is not a strange meteorite, nothing like that. The object is doing a perfect curve. Check it out then. Next. Another object. You have already here one of the tanks in space. but there's a strange object already here moving very fast. Next now. Now we're going to go to regular videos all over the world for the last years. So we're going to start with some already from the 50s, taken in a 60 millimeters film. Let's go. Very old. Next. Rhode Island. Similar than the object we saw closer to the Mir station. Hagen, Germany, 60s. Also very similar than the object we saw closer to the Mir. Next. Check it out, this. This is US, California. One of the famous George Adamski footages. Next. Area 51. Next. 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 This is Catalina Island. Catalina Island, in the States, US. This footage was taken from US Navy helicopter. Next. Phoenix, Arizona. This is a beautiful footage from a bunch of campers. Check it out then. Well, need to complete the flower, right? Beautiful, eh? Next. Also US. Next. This is Ukraine. People taking already vacation time. This is a very interesting thing. This is the typical, right? Putting already the camera in front of you, you don't know what to do. But suddenly, something happened here. Something in the sky. Pay attention with this object. He is going to use the zoom to be able to get closer. Pay attention with this object. It's gone. It's just gone. So no movements, no nothing, just gone. What that's supposed to mean? How they can do that? So how the object can be there and after that not be there anymore? We'll talk about it. Next one. Australia, Sydney. A bunch of tourists, same thing. Suddenly, somebody is watching the sky and they see an object. Similar object. Similar shape to the one we saw already in Ukraine. But what happened? The object became two. How a single object, physical single object, can divide in two objects at the same time. How this is possible? How this is possible? What kind of law of physics are already in place here? We're going to see something similar than that later on. Next now. This is an exercise in Russia. MiG airplanes, they were doing an exercise, and suddenly they started to follow two objects in the sky. But what is happening here? Two objects become one. How this is possible? How two objects can occupy the same space at the same time? How? Check it out. Whoa. We saw an object already disappear from nothing, from nowhere. We saw already two objects divide. And now we're seeing two objects already melting, fusing together. How can be? Next one.
I have an explanation.
Yes.
Einstein.
Yes, for sure. You're totally right.
Well,
check it out here.
on-
Check it out here again. Check it out this one, listen. You have the object, bah. Same thing. Two objects melting together. Next one now. New York City. A beautiful night, a bunch of Italian tourists, they are taking already the boat over the Hudson River, have a dinner, taking already the footages of New York City at night. The old Twin Towers over there, inside of the boat, having dinner. Typical, but suddenly, filming already the Twin Towers, something is going to happen. Check it out here. And a UFO is appearing beside the Twin Towers. How can be? Now in color. Check it out. And it's going to disappear the same way he showed up. How can be? Again, in seconds, is there, and after that, it's not there anymore. So the UFOs can be everywhere. Next, Mel. Another sighting, this is in the US. It's a very beautiful sighting, very interesting. Simple one, nothing special. Next. Sao Paulo, Brazil. This is Santo André. You have a bunch of people watching the object in the middle of the street. Over here, all the people watching here. Check it out here. All the people watching the object. Next. Colorado. One object very fast and a second object very small and slowly. Two objects. Attention here. Humongous speed. Incredible speed. Next. Beijing. China. Next. Miami. We have an object already here. Pay attention with that object. It's going to come closer. Very close. Check it out. And settling. It's gone. Somebody turn it off. Check it out here. This is Mexico. You have a regular camera here and an infrared camera here. They're filming exactly the same place. But here there's nothing. But here is an object. Wait a minute. For the regular naked eye, it's nothing in the sky. But for an infrared camera, somebody's watching you. So this means the extraterrestrial can be invisible for you, but an infrared camera can register their presence. The object is physical. US, a military exercise, and sadly, they're not alone. If you pay attention, it's exactly the same object we saw in Catalina Island in US. It's exactly the same characteristics. Next. Check out this one. That's interesting. Next one. This is in the Soviet Union. It was a show running over there. And suddenly, everybody was watching the sky. Check it out, check it out. Somebody was watching them too. Seems really like music.
That's in Georgia.
Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Next. This is Mexico. Two probes flying together. This is exactly the famous Foo Fighters. That famous balls already watching in the sky. They're metal. Next. This is Phoenix, also Arizona. A bunch of campers, they saw these objects. Next. Mexico. This little fellow is already flying with no problems at all. A lot of calm in the middle of that valley. As you know, since 1992, Mexico became very famous all over the world with the most incredible UFO sightings. Cool, eh? Nice. Next one. Check it out, this. Interesting. That's fast. This is also Mexico, 1993. During the celebrations of the Independence Day. So you have all the military arsenal being shown. But all the TV cameras, they show something else flying in the sky. And a spaceship. And a UFO. So nobody could have denied already the sighting at all. Because all the TV channels, they were filming the helicopters. And suddenly in the middle, this little one show. So no filming manipulations, nothing like that. No hoax, no fakes, no nothing. Because all the TV channels, they show exactly the same thing. Next. This is US. Go back. Click the image. Yeah. We're going to see different objects, very similar one to the other, being seen in different countries. This is US. Next. This is Brazil. A beautiful sighting. All the people started to stop in the middle of the road to be able to watch this beautiful show. Next one. This is also US. Very similar than the other one we saw. Next. This is Russia. A bouncing ball. Check it out there. For sure they know somebody is filming. Next. This is France. This year, a few months ago. Next. This is Russia again. Next. UK. Next. Mexico. Next. This is Italy. Next. Sao Paulo. This is already an object. This footage was taken from a crew from the Mixon. This is a footage production company. They were recording a commercial, and suddenly they saw this object over the city. You can see Sao Paulo, 16 million people live in this city. It's on a sphere, 9 meters diameter sphere, and is spinning. You have already here the whole city, and only few people were able to see already this object.
How large you said?
9 meters diameter. No windows, no nothing. Next one. Yep. This is Phoenix, Arizona. The most beautiful sighting. You have a lot of objects already here. And this is exactly what the government said, that there was a military exercise. The whole city was able to see already this object in the sky. And we're going to see exactly the same show of many objects in the sky in different other cities in a few minutes. Check it out, that so beautiful. We're going to see something similar in daylight in Chile. Next one. This is also Australia. Next. This is Chile. Very similar than what we saw already in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, the United States cannot say this is a military exercise, right? In the last few years, almost 2 years, the presence of UFO all over the world increased, in this case, a lot. We have massive observations of UFOs, not only in Mexico, but also in UK, South America, as you can see. A few months ago, 1 month and a half ago, we have also a humongous sighting in Peru, in Lima, in daylight. You're going to see already here too. Next. This is China. Check it out there. So they increase a lot their presence.
Always been there, but we're just not noticing it more.
Not already this often, and neither this amount of sightings at once. Normally you have, as you can see in the other pictures and videos, 1, 2 maximum, but right now, these videos you're seeing right now is the last 2 years. And you can see that it's not only 1, it's 6, 7, 10, 20, 30 at the same time.
When do we get to speak to them?
Sorry?
When do we get to see them face to face?
Very soon.
Very soon.
Check it out. This is Mexico.
This was extraordinary, this one here.
Yep.
So many people got to see this.
Not only this is already Mexico in 2005, you're going to see already Peru 2 months ago, And the whole city
The whole city saw it.
saw it. Next map. This is UK. Check it out. The whole town saw it this. All these objects in the sky. And this is the beginning of the year. 2007. Check it out, all these objects in the sky.
Yeah, these guys came out of a pub.
No, no, no.
No?
This is before that.
Oh, okay.
The other one with the pub you're going to see next.
Okay.
Check it out. This is the next one. This is the pub.
Oh, that's right, right.
This is the pub. All the people coming out of the pub. Check it out. Don't worry. It's going to increase right now. For objects. I saw this kind of formation before in one of our sightings. All the people coming out from the pub. Next one. This is Peru, 2 months ago, before the earthquake. Check it out then. Everybody in the streets. Everybody.
What
Watching.
city is that?
Sorry? Lima. Lima, the capital. Check it out. Everybody in the streets watching the objects in the sky. Everybody stops. Check it out that. Check it out that. No way.
How many objects?
Oh, you couldn't tell.
Guess.
And I think this also occurred in Mexico.
Yes. Also, the same thing. Exactly identical. You're going to see now a comparison between Peru and Mexico. A lot of interviews with different people in regards to the sighting. Check it out here. Check it out that. Check it out that. And now this is Mexico, Peru. Almost identical. And this is 2 months ago. And it's interesting that after that we had already this humongous, huge earthquake. Next one. Okay, this is only for fun. This is one of the speculations in regards to how many UFO crashes over the world. This is one from the Russians, saying that also they had their own Roswell. They captured and a UFO crashed. So this is one of the footages related with the UFO rescue team. If this is real, if this is a hoax, this is a joke, who knows? But this is only for fun, only for you to be aware of what's happening also in regards to this kind of matters. This is the UFO, very small as you can see, one single pilot. What they were able to found was only some pieces of this creature. Next now. This is the autopsy of the fragments they captured inside of that craft. What you have already as part of the chest, one arm and one hand, that's it. Because it seems already this crash happened a long time ago. This is the parts they were able to rescue.
Have you heard of the, somewhere in South America, I can't remember, may have been Mexico, about the police officer that died from exposure to one apparently he wrestled one of these beings down. He was rushed through the hospital. The paramedics saw, the nurses saw, all the patients in the waiting room saw this alien being on a stretcher. And
This is the case of the extraterrestrial menace.
forget the city.
Yeah,
What did you?
Virginia. Yeah, the Virginia case. It's very strange. We're going to talk about these cases and also a few others right now in a few minutes. Let's go to the next one. This is also the famous Ray Santilli footage about the extraterrestrials captured in the Roswell incident. Well, it seems very pregnant. Next one. This is another footage of one of the supposed extraterrestrials, Grays, captured in the Roswell incident, doing already an exercise with his mind powers, moving this light. This footage was released almost 1 year ago. Also very, very strange.
Much here as well.
2 years ago. 2 years ago came to everybody to know. See?
But how is that from Roswell?
Sorry?
How is that ET from Roswell?
Yeah, this is what they're saying.
It's in color.
This is no. This experiment was not in the 50s or in the 40s. This is the extraterrestrials still alive. This is what they say. Let's do this. Analyzing already here that Brazilian case.
Yes.
Today, 2007, if we have already one of our pilots going to, my God, to Afghanistan or going to Iraq or going to whatever kind of a special mission, there's a lot of people knowing about his mission, right? So nobody is going to take a flight without knowing exactly what's happening. So if something happened already with this pilot, for sure, somebody is going to try to do something to try to rescue this pilot, right? Imagine already beings capable to travel to space from one planet to another. We saw already these beings able to dematerialize already the spacecraft, melt or fusion in one single object, become two physically. How they can do that? The only reason why we didn't put already an astronaut in Mars is for what reason? Which is the reason why? Everybody can tell me? Which is the reason why we didn't put an astronaut in Mars yet? Because we can bring him in, but we cannot bring him back. This is the problem. Why? Because Mars not only has atmosphere, because gravity too. So to be able to bring back this astronaut from Mars, we need to have the same biggest rocket we had here to put this guy in space. And for sure, there's no Cape Canaveral already in Mars at this point to be able to build it, this kind of machine, right? So that's the reason why we didn't put already an astronaut there. It's not because we don't have technology to bring it, but we don't have technology to bring it back. So this means what? A very important thing here. To be able to conquer space, to be able to travel from one point to another, we cannot use rockets. We cannot use the technology we're having right now. We need to change the space-time continuum. We need to work in a different level. What we saw already here with these objects disappearing is why? Because they create a window we call centras. This is an interdimensional gate. Be able to teletransport through the space-time continuum from one point to another dimension, in another time, in another place. So they are able to work and travel through space-time. The same thing with we're seeing already two objects becoming one. In fact, we're not seeing two objects becoming one. We have two objects traveling in the space-time continuum, and one of them moving to a different dimension. So that's the reason why it's giving the effect that they're melting together. The same thing when they split. So these guys, they have the technology to change time. So can you imagine a mission coming from another planet, traveling light years away to this beautiful paradise and come in hands of the Americans, and nobody's going to care about these astronauts? Can you imagine that they are already by themselves, totally alone in the dark? Nobody in their own planet, their home planet, they know about what is happening. Nobody's going to try to rescue them. People with this kind of humongous and incredible technology? For sure not. So this story is not a very well tell. So for sure there's something missing here. The same thing in Brazil. So imagine that suddenly in the middle of the town, you're going to have an extraterrestrial already lost, asking for a ride for somebody because he lost already his UFO. And they're going to go to the hospital, the military, they're going to jump and taking him away, and nobody's going to do absolutely nothing. Excuse me? The only moment you can consider this possibility if you are doing this on purpose. So they are testing us. They are doing this exactly to test what we are going to do and in what way we're going to handle this kind of situation. Very possible. It's absolutely possible. Next. Abductions, grace. Next. Cattle mutilations. My God. Well, we can, I think everybody agrees this guy likes and loves a very beautiful barbecue, right? So that's actually what they love the most. Because the only place they're doing this in the States. They don't like cows all over the world, just in the States. So the interesting thing is already here, they love a very beautiful barbecue. So that's the only way we can consider this. If you ask already the farmers who had already here these situations, what they're going to tell you, no UFOs at all. Helicopters, military people, this is the people who are doing this.
South America too is happening.
Rarely, very rarely. This is the chupacabras, what we're talking about over there in South America.
Yeah, so for what purpose are they invading?
Sorry?
What purpose is the American?
Manipulation. Manipulation. Fear.
Partially.
No. Long time ago, in 1947, when the UFO crashed in the Roswell area, the president, Harry Truman, at the time, he got a very hot potato in his hands, right? So the problem is what to do and what to say. So at that time, if you remember, there was after the Second War. So our world was divided with the communists, the socialists, and the United States. Three powers already running. And the great question became, okay, these guys, they have a beautiful, incredible technology we can use as a weapon, for sure. But are they communists? Or what? We don't know. We don't know. If the United States government is saying that, yes, we have already a spacecraft from outer space, what kind of technology they have? Yeah, human, far way beyond we can imagine. But there's a society behind that. There's a people already. Production systems, government, rules, principles, religion, whatever. But they are like us. So if we're saying something and create already the possibility to put this doubt in our population, we're saying that this, what they people have at this time, it's far way beyond what we have. We're going to endorse also their political status. And we're going to recognize that what they have as a political status is going to be our future. Are we going to take that risk? No. So first, try to know more as is possible in regards to the UFO phenomena, in which is the background of these people in regards to politics. And after that, we are going to consider the possibility to let the people know. The first organization, civil organization, United States, related with the UFO phenomena, to be able to collect information from the public, not governmental agency, was the NICAP. Under the United States government surveillance. To be able to do what? Kehoe was a military, and he was the head of the NICAP. With what single purpose? To have information from the civilians and provide this information to the United States agencies. So this actually everything works. Why? Because the UFO phenomena doesn't mean only this incredible craft, but everything. If we're saying that the extraterrestrials are real and they're going to knock our door tomorrow and say we have a really beautiful technology and everything is going to change tomorrow. First, you don't have your jobs anymore because we don't know what they're going to be able to bring. Your knowledge, your university diplomas, PhD, whatever, is nothing. Where your research is going to go? To hell. One straight way. Simple. So all the money you have already invested in technology, development, research is nothing. Zero. Why? Because everything what we got now is obsolete. Thousands of years obsolete. So nothing we're going to be able even to imagine right now is going to worth one single penny. What we're going to do with all the money invest until this moment, because what they're going to bring can change everything. And no government wants to take this risk, take these chances to jeopardize our system. So they're going to handle the lies and the manipulation far as is possible to do until be able to keep control of the situation. That's the reason why. But, next one. The extraterrestrials, they're not looking to do that. We're still alive, right? If they want to keep control of this planet, they don't need to even shut a single laser ray or something like that, like Independence Day or The Invasion or all these movies. They don't need to do that. This means there are thousands of years in advance. They know us very well, upside down. They can put in our atmosphere one single virus. One single virus. Just programmed to touch one specific DNA. They can select who they're going to throw it away to the garbage. And the human beings in 24 hours are gone. The planet will be beautiful, the birds are still singing, all the animals are still running away, and they're going to clap to the extraterrestrials because they're free from this plague we are, from all of them. So all the animals will thank the extraterrestrials because they are able to live in peace and harmony. They're not going to have any human beings already destroying the environment. And they're going to come here, take vacations in Florida, go to Disney World, have fun. Nobody is going to bug them, no human beings are around. That's it. We're still alive. So this is the best proof of their good intentions. Because they don't need slaves. They don't need that. They don't need the possibility to have feed a lot of people and take control of a lot of people. Too much mass. Take it away, and everything is going to be wonderful. In this movie, if you remember, Fire in the Sky, right? You can go to Blockbuster, to Rogers, you can rent it. Interesting movie. A lie. A huge, terrible lie. I had the chance to meet in person Travis Walton. Long time ago. Travis Walton never faced this kind of situation, ever. And this movie is based on Travis Walton's case. Travis Walton never faced this. When he came inside of the UFO, he saw a bunch of small guys. He threatened them when he jumped out of the table, or in this case, the bed. He ran out of the room. He found another big room with a huge window, seeing the whole universe outside. He became astonished watching that. Suddenly, he felt a hand in his shoulder. He moved back to punch the guy when he saw a human being, not this. A tall, blonde, blue eyes human being using a helmet. And this being just did this to him. He took his arm and moved him out of the spacecraft. This spacecraft was inside of a hangar. And he saw a human woman coming towards him, and both, this couple, took him to a different place where he fainted. He lost consciousness. He just woke up watching the spacecraft launching to the sky, and that's it. This is the Travis Walton case, not this. Why lie to the people so terribly like this? Why? Manipulation. You can be the next victim. To put you away of this kind of phenomena. We cannot deny the phenomena is real. We cannot deny the phenomena is happening, but to put everybody aside, away from the possibility to get in touch to the truth, because the truth is outside, you can be the next victim. You can be the next one. Check it out. If you analyze the abductions with the Greys, 80% or 85% is US. That's it. They love American meat. So that's the reason why. So 85% is US. The Greys love Americans. I think only because they speak English. So that's the reason why they come to the States. Greys all over the world? Hardly. Hardly. Why? Another way to keep and maintain fear? That's it. You can be the next victim. Next one. And this is another interesting thing, right? Check it out. Poor lady. Next one. A hybrid. Next one. Mutants between humans and Greys and the whole stuff. Next one. So this is also something Buddha Hopkins loved the most, right? With this regressions, hypnosis regressions. Yes, you're having abducted. You have a son already thousands of light years ago. Oh my God, this is incredible, blah, blah. But seems already, these extraterrestrials, they don't know about this lady. Next. Next. Dolly. In 1997, sorry, 1997, Dolly was cloned. This is our first clone, successful clone. So we did already a clone. So the extraterrestrials, they don't know about cloning. So they need to come, put already a lady in a pregnancy for 3 months, wait the 3 months, come back, taking the fetus away, and you're going to raise already a hybrid in another planet. My God. These guys are able to change the space-time continuum. They don't know nothing about clones. I think something is already missing here, right? So they can take your saliva, that's it, and they're going to have thousands of clones of yourself on another planet. Why they're going to take the risk to put a lady in a pregnancy for 3 months to take already the fetus if they can clone you thousands of times, taking already your saliva? How is this possible? I think there's something missing here too, right? This is lies. Check it out, this. How the paranoia can be. Check it out. Read it. Read it. So this way, you're not going to be abducted. You can protect yourself. It's a very cheap price. Go to the internet. Through the internet. Through the internet. So you can go over there and you're going to not be abducted. And it's proof. As you can see, it's tested. It's already tested. So you have already your certificate, warranty certificate. If you're going to be abducted, we give you money back. Okay, no problem. Amazing. Let's go to the next one. This is the most beautiful art, or can say extraterrestrial art. Check it out. Check it out, the complexity. There's a lot of people saying that they're doing, they're making, they're faking. The complexity of these drawings, they are astonishing. As you can see, it's impossible to do this kind of drawings in one single night sometimes in a few hours with no light at all. For sure, some of them, they can be a hoax, can be a fake, but for sure, not all of them. Check it out, these beauties. The perfection, the symmetry, the design, they're amazing. They love too, as you can see. Check out the perfection of that. Check out that. And imagine that this is with crops only, nothing else.
What do you think the message is with all these?
Hard to say.
Trust your government.
This can be a very beautiful demonstration of technology.
I'm looking at all these and there's balance.
There's beauty,
There's balance and harmony. And,
geometry.
yeah.
Yes. It's an incredible, precise geometry. Check it out, that. It's amazing.
Are these
And
only
they-
in England or they're global?
No. Here in Canada too. You have already crop circles here in Canada. And it's not mostly in UK, yes, but there's also in different other countries.
So you have adaptions in the US and you have popsicles in the
Yes. You have crop circles in the US too. But only few. So they don't like too much art in the States. See?
Yeah.
In this case, they prefer the British.
Yeah.
And I think the British crops are the best
Yeah.
to work. Okay, next one now. So also there's something very curious that in the crop areas where the circles appear, there's little fellows too. Check it out. We have a crop circle here, and check it out, this little one. In fact, two. They are already the responsible for the crop circles. Exactly the same phenomenon. The Foo Fighters, or canepas as we call them. Next one now. Check it out, this one. All the people running already and the object moving here.
So how big are those objects? How can you tell?
This big. This one's this big. Like a soccer ball. These footages, they're already around for the last 5 years. But I'm going to show you that these objects, they're far way older in our environment than we expect. We're going to see a movie called Rio Grande with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara having already in their back this Foo Fighters. And you can see this if you have the movie rented. Check it out. Next one. This was filmed to be able to do a commercial. We had this little one.
Stop it close to the window.
Yep, stops closer to the windows. It will be interesting to know if somebody was watching already this object. Next one. This is São Paulo. São Paulo, Brazil. Check it out, this one. Capão Redondo. Check it out, the movements.
So they have some windows.
It's checking. This is what we call a probe. It's a robot. The extraterrestrials are using this to create data, recording information. Next, check it out. Maureen O'Hara. Watch here. Check it out here. Two objects. Pay attention. Continue to pay attention. Over there. They didn't realize they were not alone. Recorded to posterity. Next one. There's a lot of interesting UFO researchers all over the world. I had the chance to meet Alan Hynek, already deceased. Kehoe, that was responsible for the NECAP, the first United States agency. Jacques Vallée, he was the first one to start to questioning about the cloning thing.
Did you meet Jacques Vallée?
Sorry?
Did you meet Jacques Vallée?
No, unfortunately him not. But John Mack, yes, also today deceased. Also, the work they did with me with the Illinois University, John Mack was part of that work too. I met Bud Hopkins and few international events. He's totally afraid of extraterrestrials. J.J. Benitez is not well known here in Canada or the English countries. He is an international bestseller in the UFO area. He was the first journalist we brought to a sighting in Peru in 1974. Gilda Moura, one of the most interesting UFO researchers in Brazil. She was part of the research with the University of Illinois. And Jaime Monzon from Mexico, one of the most interesting researchers in regards to UFO phenomena in Mexico. He created the chain of watchers in Mexico to be able to analyze the UFO phenomena. And Stephen Greer, one of the UFO researchers today, tried to do what we are doing here. Try to make the people get closer to the UFO phenomena. And famous contactees, Daniel Fry, Eugenio Siracusa, George Adamski, the first abduction, already well known, Barney and Betty Hill, 61. Rael, supposed to be a contactee, only him. My brother and I, in 74. Travis Walton, 75. Billy Mayer, 75. This is Ed Walters and Gulf Breeze case. This is the famous Whitley Strieber, responsible for the Gray's paranoia in the States. And Giorgio Bongiovanni, a good friend of mine, also an interesting case in Italy. The interesting case with Giorgio Bongiovanni, as you can see, he has the stigmata. Each stigmatas show after the encounters with the extraterrestrials. The interesting thing is that these stigmatas he's having in his forehead, hands, feet, And the stigmatas came because he saw Jesus Christ coming out of an UFO. And also Virgin Mary. And after each encounter, the stigmas started to show. He's a very good friend of mine. Okay, let's go. So more than 60 years have passed since the first UFO experience. And until now, what? We have a very huge paranoia. Today we're talking about good ETs, bad ETs, and you don't know who's already in that UFO, so you can be the next victim. Be careful, don't get closer, so they can catch you, and who knows what is going to happen, right? So this is exactly what is happening today. This is the idea in America, in North America, not the rest of the world. The rest of the world, the situation is totally different, absolutely different. What are they waiting for? To wake up. Seems something is missing. In fact, next. Something is hiding something. Yeah. Here in North America, they are hiding a lot of stuff. We're going to figure out now. Next. This is a test. In fact, it is. What you're going to see now, these footages, they're pre-arranged. These footages didn't happen because, oh, I was walking, and I started to film. These footages, in daylight, this one, happened already with a pre-arranged time and place. In all the footages you're going to see from now on, they're pre-arranged. They're not the best, because when the best show up, nobody wants to film, everybody wants to see it. Until come here to Canada, I never felt compelled to film and record our sightings because I never felt the need to do that. But when I came here to Canada, nobody had a clue who I was or my purpose. So that's the reason I started to film some of our sightings. Not all of them, but some of them.
Where is this happening?
Aurora, closer to Toronto. Next one. This one you're going to see now, it's in slow motion to be able to see the object and what the object is doing. This is very common to happen in our sightings. The objects show up, give a flash of light, very intense, and move on. That's very common. Also, we got some pictures. Next now. This is a UFO sighting already with our groups in Spain. Next one. This is in Peru. And this is an extraterrestrial showing up in a place called Marcahuasi. This is a being we have seen in a lot of our sightings or experiences in the field. As they told us, they come from a planet called Silux. This being, it's around how many meters? 5 meters tall. Yep, 5 meters tall. Next now. A dark skin, very rare hair. And it's very impressive because when you see this guy in the middle of the field, it's a 5 meters tall guy walking in the middle of nowhere. It's something very impressive. Okay, next one. This is JJ Benitez, the first guy we met as a journalist and brought to the first sighting with the press in 1974. He was absolutely skeptical in regards to UFO phenomena. After that, you can imagine how he changed. He became, in this case, in the Spanish and Portuguese countries, bestseller in regards to UFO phenomena. He brought the King Juan Carlos and the Princess Sofia from Spain to Peru to be able to know about our experiences. And they made us be worldwide known in regards to UFO phenomena. Next, he's doing already an interview about his experience in Peru. This is 1988, an encounter we made already with the 40 journalists from different countries. This is already the footage. They show it in the news in different countries about the UFO sighting. This is all the journalists from different countries camping over there. Interviews, Channel 23 from Miami. This is the area. The pictures taken from the journalists from the object. The newspapers next day. This is one of the journalists describing already here the object. This is from Argentina. Another footage from objects on sky. And the interesting thing is they show up when we do already these arrangements. There's another footage from the Miami Herald showing the area. This is the description. Images of the object, unfortunately, is too dark. The picture is taken also with two entities with light. This is all the object, the movement of the object. The testimonies from different journalists. And what we're going to see next is another sighting we booked with a Chilean channel, Megavision, and what happened already here was very funny because shows how unprepared these people are in regards to UFO phenomena. Carta Blanca is exactly the program. In Alberto Diver, this is the journalist, he prepared already this beautiful scenario with all these three kids from our group over there. They had a physical encounter with an extraterrestrial they were telling about, Santiago, Chile, and they were already with this beautiful environment. When the UFO show up on top of their heads, they left everything around and they started to run away. So they didn't film the object because they started to run to the cars, thinking that the extraterrestrials are going to abduct them. When they realized exactly what was happening, when they took away the cameras, unfortunately the object was moving. So what he's going to show next is the newspapers showing that the object, the same object showing in this area was seen in different other areas around. And he's already in Uruguay, speaking already with other of the members of our groups, telling exactly what happened. And showing the newspapers saying that the same object showed himself in different places in Chile exactly the same day, few hours or few minutes difference. So this is exactly what is happening, and this is exactly what is already showing here. My work is not only put already the whole world in touch with extraterrestrial beings, but we're talking about, in fact, improvement, development. The reason why they are not already parking their UFOs in the next parking lot is very simple. they know that being in touch right now, very close, is going to destroy our system and the way we live. They know that instead to help, they are going to jeopardize our situation. But what they want is exactly to come, to give us the chance to start a relationship in a formal way. But to be able to do that, need to be a transition process. There's a lot of people all over the world channeling, getting in touch with extraterrestrials, saying a lot of stuff, blah, 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 the whole thing. But none of these people did what we have done until now. We are the only group in the world already giving not only people, but also to the press, the possibility to be in touch with the UFO phenomenon. And the extraterrestrials, they want to have the chance to get it closer. But what they need is people who are very well prepared in regards to what the future needs. People who are going to be example of how the human being of the future need to be. They don't want already new gurus. They don't want already to bring, go Mel, next one. They don't want, check it out this. This is a ceramica. What he's going to put it here is going to be liquid hydrogen. This is a metal. Check it out here. Nothing happened, right? But at the moment he's going to put already liquid hydrogen, he's going to put the temperatures around down. So the molecules already here in this ceramic is going to change position. And they're going to start to flow, creating an electronic mattress or field, if you want to, putting already gravity out of place. So it's not touching. Why? What you have here already is an electronic field. No gravity at all. So we're doing this now. We know the principle. And more than that, we know how to use it. Now he's going to take everything out of the hydrogen. So the temperature is going to rise. The molecules already here are going to change position again. So the electronic field is going to decrease. The electrons are going to run out. What is happening? Gravity is starting to work. Next now. Check it out here. This is a magnet. This is another magnet, but spinning, creating what? Another electronic field. No gravity. It's flying. This is exactly our planet and the UFO. This is how they work. Our planet is a magnet and the UFO is another one. Controlling already the intensity of attraction, creating in this case an electronic field. They can fly. Next now. Check it out here. You check it out here. No gravity. What's happening here? You have electricity running all over, creating what? An electron shield. So the electronic shield is destroying gravity. We're doing this now. The extraterrestrials, they're doing this thousands of years. This is the difference. This is the simple difference. So imagine how advanced they are. Okay, you can turn the lights on. The possibility to be in touch with them is totally open. It's not hard to be in touch with them. But what they are looking for is not for shows, not for the possibility to record more videos or things like that. What they're looking right now is for the possibility to bring to the human beings the chance to finally get in touch with them. Unfortunately, our world is a mess up. Everybody knows that. We have a mass situation already here. Diversity, religions, beliefs, ethnicities, countries, culture, name it. So how to be in touch with a world like this? To whom we're going to look for? Scientists? These guys, they have already the tail totally trapped. Because who's paying already his research, or their research? Governments. So they're going to be totally free to speak with extraterrestrials? They're going to be absolutely free to have the chance to exchange with them? Or they're going to serve their masters in regards to what is possible to provide? They are not free at all. So the extraterrestrials are going to look for whom? Bush? I don't think so. So to whom they're going to speak? To whom they're going to come? Us, people. Because we are the world, in fact. And this is the only way. But what kind of people they're looking for? People they can trust. People who are already committed with the future, with their own fellow human beings. People who are totally open heart in regards to our future. People who are willing to change and develop themselves in regards to better future for our children. People who are looking for a better days. People who are totally, my God, tired of this mess. Tired of this destruction. Tired of this horrible things we're seeing every single day in the news. People who are totally, my God, tired of what we're having. No hope, no possibilities, violence. And they are looking for the chance to change everything. You can make the difference. For sure you can make the difference. But to be able to make the difference, you need to have a commitment. A commitment not with yourself, a commitment with the future, a commitment with the world. To be in touch with them is going to be a fancy, beautiful, incredible adventure, for sure. You're going to live already here the most incredible Steven Spielberg movie in real life. This is what you're going to do. But this is not what they want to provide to you. What they want to give it to you is the proof, the evidence. This is real. This is for real. The contact is real. But they want from you is your commitment with the future and the all human beings around you. So you need to prove to the world what kind of beings, what kind of human beings we need to make this world a bit different. So you cannot have attachments with religion, culture. You cannot have attachments with all the garbage you're carrying inside of yourself. Because these guys, they live 4,000 Earth years. 4,000 years. So they had the chance to shake hands with Jesus Christ. They met already Abraham walking in the middle of the desert. They had the chance to see Copernicus. They had the chance to see Galileo Galilei. They know our history very well. There's no secrets. There's no mysticism. They're incredible spiritual beings. But when we're talking about spirituality, we're talking about knowledge, development, the possibility to know themselves and what the universe can provide. They're not running towards God and dying to the next life. They're looking for peace. They are running for love. They're running for a beautiful environment, preservation. They are gardeners of this universe. They preserve, they keep, they maintain. And they are able to share what they know and what they have. There's no misery. There's no violence. There's no money. They don't have this kind of stuff. Why? Because they don't need it. The whole universe outside is a free supermarket. You don't need to pay already for the minerals you're going to take from this asteroid. You don't need to come to this planet Earth, go to the middle of the crops, take some seeds, go to your planet, and you have already a bunch of places with a lot of crops, a lot of things already to eat. They don't need that. They don't need to go to the supermarket and buy a can of this or that to be able to eat. They can provide for themselves. The universe is free because they have the technology to have that. And this is what they're able to bring. But how they're going to be able to do this with a planet with 6 billion of people having their salaries every single month to pay, to eat, to dress, to move, to walk. If we're talking about a new society where this kind of situation doesn't exist, man, we need to have a very huge transition from here to there. No governments, no presidents, no Bush. And as you know, a very huge difference in regards to what we know right now and what we're going to be able to learn. So, are we prepared for that? Are we open for that? Are we have already the possibility to open our minds and renounce to what we know, what we have right now, to something absolutely new? And this is exactly the proposal. Erase what you have and you start all over again with a new vision. What the universe is possible to give to you. For sure, be in touch with them is part of our work. Absolutely. This is the main thing. Why? Because we need to prove to the world this is happening, and we are doing right now. The reason why I'm here is because we did, as you know, 8 times, bringing the press to this kind of sightings. And are you aware of that? No. Do you read something like that? No. Why? Because the United States, America in general, North America in general, is an island in regards to UFO phenomena. You don't know what's happening. But if we do the same here, nobody will be able to deny, right? And the situation is going to change. Why? Because all these sightings and these events with the press happen in the third world countries. So third world countries, we don't like it. We don't speak Spanish, we don't speak Portuguese. So by speaking English, the situation is totally different. And this is exactly what is going to happen here. But to be able to do that, it's not a problem to do it. Veronica can go to the field, bring already the press, as I did so many times, and do it again. But what is going to happen is not to do it. It's the day after. This is the main problem. The problem is not to do it. The problem is, after that, having already Toronto Star, CNN, blah, 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 Veronica brought about a bunch of journalists to the field, blah, blah, we saw something, oh my God, they're very interesting. So governments, they're going to deny, oh, can be this, can be that. So Veronica will need to do it again, and do it again, and do it again, until somebody say, oh, wait a minute. So many times, excuse me, something is happening here, for sure. But the day after, somebody is going to knock my door. Be absolutely sure that all the secret agencies all over the world, my profile is this big. To be absolutely sure about that. I know that. Because I have people, when I'm in Brazil, I have people from the Secret Service watching my back and knowing exactly what I was doing. Same thing here in Canada or in whatever country. And they're watching me, for sure, but to try to know how far I can go. And this is exactly what they're looking for. And this is exactly my benefit. They allow me to work because they want to know what I can provide. And that's exactly what is happening all over the world for many years. So the problem is, when we're talking about the day after, somebody knocking my door and say, can you cure me, please? I'm already diseased in a terminal status, and this exercise can help me with this, with that, with the other thing. I can tell you this because it happens to me many times. The extraterrestrials are not here to do that. And that's not exactly our goal. We have been trained people for healing. We have many successful cases curing people, but not because the extraterrestrials, because our group and our work. So we have beautiful healing experiences for sure, but it is not exactly our goal. Our goal is different. So what their goal is going to do after this kind of experiences is knock on our door and ask, who are you people? Why the extraterrestrials are choosing you to have this kind of possibility, to be in touch with them. Who are you? And what you're going to say, how you're going to live, how you're going to show your lives is exactly what the future needs to be. So the problem is not getting in touch with them. The problem is show to the world the kind of people they are looking for. And that's exactly our work. We have training process, we have learning process, we have a huge bunch of things involving everything, as you can see. Healing, contact with them, the possibility to improve ourselves, spiritual, paranormal, name it. But the most important thing is rebuild yourself in a different way. Under a different parameters, under a different paradigms, under a different perspectives, totally different than what you have until now. Because everything what you have here and now is product of religion, philosophies. Somebody can tell me, oh, the philosophy I'm following right now is 4,000 years old. Sorry, my friend, but you are 4,000 years already stopped in time. So you didn't improve it. So that's exactly what is happening at this point. Everything is going to change. Hopefully, we're going to make the world change before it's too late. And that's exactly the reason why I'm here. The purpose of this lecture, and thank you so much for your patience, I appreciate that, is exactly to invite you to be part of this. Think about it. We had the chance to meet in the future for sure. We have a beautiful couple already here being our interface in regards to this work. And I'm looking forward to have the chance to have a different meeting with all of you to let you know exactly how we're going to work and how it's going to be this process. Thank you so much for your patience.
Veronica, will you take a few questions?
Absolutely, please, be my guest.
All right.
We're all friends, Leslie, no problem with that.
That's right, we know each other. My question to you is, your extraterrestrials, the group of extraterrestrials that you represent, what is their motivation for visiting our planet?
When, let me give you a parenthesis already here. The extraterrestrials, in fact, when they develop their technology, happens exactly what happened in our planet. We have the United Nations, right? What is the United Nations already as an institution? Some countries develop already in some way. They decided to gather together. They found the same common goals, and they decided to share information, technology, commerce, whatever, and that's exactly what we have here. The same thing happened in space. So a bunch of societies, they found together watching this planet, watching the other planet, and say, hello, how are you, neighbor? What are we going to do together? Oh, let's go to have fun. Okay. So they gathered, and they created some federation of planet. There's no Kirk in the middle of Spock, so don't worry. But they did exactly that. So these societies, they are taking care of the environment because this is exactly not only the playground, but where they're going to fulfill their needs, right? So everything needs to be in balance to be able to continue to exist and prevail the process they have right now. So when you have already a society or a bunch of societies where there's no violence, there's no misery, there's no poverty, there's no starvation, there is no problems at all, which is the next step? Keep and maintain the situation. So what they're doing right now is maintenance. So the only way to keep maintenance in the neighborhood is exactly to see what's happening around. And when somebody's coming to the condo and they started to put the music so loud, having already these cars with a lot of noise and making already a lot of mess, so we're going to watch already for this guy say, excuse me, but if you want to be part of this neighborhood, you need to follow some rules, to be respectful, to be this, to be that, or we're going to kick your butt. So that's exactly the situation here. Our planet has been visiting from extraterrestrials for thousands of years, millions of years possible, and they know us very well. And they know that we are developing ourselves, we are struggling a little bit, but there's a lot of people here right now who's looking for the possibility to say, excuse me, but there's no better possibilities around. And they know that there are people here willing to change that. And they're totally open to help. They're totally open to have these people as, how can I say this, partners in this kind of process, and include our planet into this federation of planets, in fact.
So what kind of work is your group of extraterrestrials doing on this planet?
At this point,
Yeah.
surveillance.
Surveillance only?
Yes. They are not interfering directly right now with the whole situation at all. They don't do that. This is exactly like the prime directive. It's already Mr. Kirk and company they have. They don't do that. What we have here, in this case, is exactly some interactions to try to know how dangerous we can be. In one specific experience, this was Ed Walters and the Gold Reef case. He was abducted, so he was taken inside of the UFO. And when he was taken, he said to the extraterrestrials, "You don't have the right to take me against my will." The extraterrestrials said to him, "Yes, we have the right. You gave us the right. At the moment you became a threat to us, you are given the chance to know who you are and what way you are dangerous for us." Simple as that. It's a matter of survival. Guys, imagine this. They can kill us in a few minutes. They don't do that. They didn't do that yet. Okay? So when we're saying, oh, they're wonderful, they're beautiful, blah, 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 the whole thing, yes, we sure they are. They're giving us the chance to be part of this incredible, how can I say this, universal brotherhood. They're given the chance. But if we become a threat for them, they're not going to think twice to erase the human race from this planet. Because we cannot jeopardize only us. We can jeopardize them. Example, if we decided to explode a bomb and kill ourselves, exploding bombs everywhere, no problem at all. This planet is going to become a piece of a dry rock in the space. Simple as that. No problem. No extensions. This planet is already destroyed. Unfortunately, we kill ourselves. But the main problem, the main danger is not that one. The main danger if a society like us change or discover the way to change the space-time continuum, the situation becomes very worse. Because we're not jeopardizing only our planet, but the whole universe, and also them. If we reach that level of development, we became a huge threat. And that's exactly what they're not going to allow us to do. Yes?
That last comment was interesting, but in order to control and manipulate the space-time continuum, it's only our militaries that have that kind of power.
We're doing it right now. Remember,
Yeah,
2 years ago,
we
2 years ago, we teletransport a photon with one point to another.
That's right.
We're changing the space-time continuum at this point. The next experiment is going to be to teletransport an atom from one point to another.
Yes, I believe they just did that recently, or they just at least
They are trying to do.
said it in the news.
Yes.
The Kogi people in Colombia,
Mhm.
the elders, or most of the shamans and the elders of the South Americas, one thing I would say is that technology is the demise of mankind. That all the technology is coming out today. And I sort of relate this to the teachings of the people in the Anthroposophical Society.
Okay.
Steiner wrote a lot about Ehrman
Yes.
and the Armenian deception. And I'm just trying to balance out, it just seems that we're bombarded with technology, iPhones, iPods, wireless, cars that do this, guns that go shoot faster. It's just, is it all of that giant machine that's already going, that's eventually going to destroy us?
No, not yet. Remember, these guys, they live for 4,000 years. How much time is going to take us to develop this kind of technology? 100 years, 50 more years, 200 more years? Doesn't matter. If we're able to reach this level without destroying ourselves first,
Right.
who knows? So this is exactly the concern. Their concern is until what moment is going to be the critical moment. So they're working right now to avoid this kind of situation. They are working right now to not only avoid, become, in the fact, how can I say this, a huge threat, but to avoid our own destruction.
Right. And most of the beings coming are sort of surveying, doing surveillance. Well, they're watchers or seers.
They're watchers, they're seers, they are the ones already in touch with us. Some of them, they're living in the middle of our societies because they're like us, they're very human-like, and they're still already watching the moment. Watching for the moment to do what is necessary, if it's necessary to do. Get in touch with somebody, get in touch with some of our groups. There's a lot of different kind of contact experiences.
If the United States decided to tell the world or to disclose this issue, would that be a turn for the better, or would it make a difference?
First, they're not going to do that because it's going to be against them.
Right.
Formally, the governments, they're not going to be able to do that unless it's not possible to deny anymore. And also for us, the possibility to get in touch with them need to be very slowly, because the impact we can generate already providing contact with the press and also with the UFOs is going to be taken in a very slowly way. Check it out. How it's going to be for the Muslim countries to take already a sighting here in Canada. They're going to get it, they're not going to get it. We will need to go there to do it, to be able to make these people stop and not killing each other anymore. We don't know. To be honest, we don't know yet. We need to work step by step to be able to make the world stop and think. Check it out, guys. All these years, we have spiritual, vibrational chains to shift the world consciousness. We have been doing a lot of vibration stuff, healing, whatever, name it, how many groups, and the world is still getting worse. There's only one way to, how can I say this, to resolve the situation. It's making the whole world converge to one single thing. So one single event. This is the only way. There's no other way. Because it doesn't matter if you're Muslim, white, black, yellow, rose, or whatever, name it. It doesn't matter. Everybody will need to converge to one single thing coming already from the sky. And that's it. There's no way. You need to answer already this event. You need to answer already what is already showing. And it doesn't matter what kind of beliefs you are carrying. You will need to open your heart, open your mind, shift your conscience or your understanding to try to explain what's happening right now. And this is the only way we're going to be able to work together towards our future. Having already the evidence that this is for us. This is a humongous quantum leap jump to an incredible future. So we will need to open our hearts and give up of traditions, culture, religion, education, name it, and open our hearts already and our minds to this new possibility and realize that what we got until now, it's overdue a long time ago. It's already, my God, past. It's already obsolete. It doesn't work anymore. Check it out, the world we made until now. So rebuild ourselves again. This is the only way. And hopefully we're going to have the chance to work together someday. Yes?
So I'm curious about the extraterrestrials choosing certain people who are ready and open.
They're not choosing. You're choosing yourself.
Okay. And we're choosing to be open.
Exactly. It's up to you. You want to get into this or not. It's your choice.
And my question is the how. Is it only through your organization, or are there other groups who are doing this work?
It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for the chance to be in touch with them, how the physical event, the evidence, develop yourself, for sure, with us. If you're looking for channeling, something a little bit different, there's a lot of options for sure outside. But our work is very specific. We are the only group in the world, who provide and have been providing for 34 years already the physical evidence of this event. Only. There's no others.
So will the physical evidence give us the understanding that we need to elevate ourselves?
Nope.
Or do we develop that?
Nope. What this possibility is going to prove you're not chasing already something impossible. All the groups, they're chasing what? Mental, spiritual, mystical utopias. Like some channelers saying, yes, only through the enlightenment you're going to be in touch with them. Or only I had the chance, but you're going to have experience enough a spiritual level. Here there's no spiritual level to contact them. They're physical, flesh and blood. They're real. So you're going to have a canepa giving you a flash of light in your face. You're going to become blind for a while because something is happening. You're going to have a huge tall being showing himself, scare you to death from nowhere, and you're going to not sleep for the next three days trying to recover yourself from that. So you're going to see a UFO coming exactly at the right time, in the right place, at the right moment, with a lot of bunch of people with you watching the same thing. This is what is going to happen here. So this evidence happens not to make you be happy, but to prove you that we are doing here is a relationship. We're in touch with them. We're fulfilling already here an agreement. We're here making them trust us for the well-being of everyone. We're working for our future, for our world. Because if we're going to bring the press tomorrow, you need to be absolutely sure that this agreement, the day, the hour, the place is going to be that one. Not be there and they're late, they're not coming. Oh my God, what I'm going to do. They're not going to be that way. Always they were absolutely punctual. And always they were there. That's the reason why it's a mention for you. We are the only group in the world working in this way. There's a lot of groups, a lot of channelers, a lot of possibilities for sure. But the way we work, we are the only one.
So how do you communicate?
Many ways. We call telepathy. We can use psychography. We can use dreams. We can use feelings. Many ways. Depends, each one, you can develop many options. Depends from you. So there's many ways to get in touch with them. Remember, the purpose of the contact with them is to have the physical evidence. How far this relationship is going to go with you depends. How long is it going to take for you to get in touch with them physically depends. I'm in touch with these guys for 34 years. Physically, I saw them 8, 9, 10 times. All these years. Them, face to face. These ladies, they had the chance to be with me in one of these encounters. So, because the purpose is not to chase them, but to bring all of us to this kind of encounters and develop ourselves. We need to become trustworthy for the universe. This is what we're doing. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. Good night for all of you.
What a great presentation. I know you agree with that.
Yes.
I want to thank Veronica again for being here with us, for taking her time to give us such a great presentation. I think it's amazing to be able to get such information in a world that wants to close their eyes. So we had a wonderful opportunity here to definitely stretch the mind, as I said before. I'm sure it's quite amazing to many of you, and but I can speak for myself. I really appreciate the opportunity to have Veronica on my path. I want to thank not only Veronica, but I want to thank the people who came here to help make this possible.
If you're looking for the possibility to be part of this work, please, you have already here the list. We're going to get in touch with you after that. We're going to have a different meeting, a little bit more private meeting, and we're going to discuss the whole details of the process. Thank you so much, Evelyn.
Thank
Franco,
you.
thank you so much for your help. I appreciate that. Please.